Right, Mustang fans and surrounding areas. It is Wednesday early afternoon, and that means podcast time. We do a lot of podcasts here on Wednesday, and the first one comes as we do the Ingleside Mustangs football. We talk in Ingleside Mustangs, obviously, and they get a big win week one over La Feria, 27-0. If you didn't go to the game, you missed a great game. And on the screen, we got the head man, the athletic director, head football coach for those Mustangs, Coach Travis Chrisman. Coach, how you doing?
Good, good, doing well, Gabe.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you very much for taking some time to join the podcast and talk a little bit about your football team, coach. And as I said, great way to start the season. Get a big win, 27-0 over the Feria. I was there. We were streaming the game. And coach, I got to say, I was very impressed just overall the way we came out and played. I thought we were physical. I thought we were ready to go. We were focused. And I like to jump right into it and start off with the offensive side, Coach. We were able to run the ball. You said earlier in a few podcasts that we were going to run this year by committee, right? So we have a lot of runners. And I wanted to see as a fan, just kind of paying attention. I thought the run game is really, really important. We were able to get that going. I don't know what the final stats were, but I know number 22, Roman Davila, and number 44, Aaron Flores, had big nights for us. So I'm going to ask you to kind of talk about their performance. And then the offensive line, I thought you got to give the big boys some love on the podcast. I thought they controlled the line of scrimmage from start to finish to allow these two runners to do what they did. And so, Coach, overall, what did you see from the offense and the offensive line and these two runners?
Well, like you said, we want to be able to control the line of scrimmage this year, and our offensive line is definitely going to enable us to put us in a good position to do so. Like you said, those five up front, and then of course we had some scattered mix-ins here and there too. Those guys played really really well, so we were very impressed by our offensive line play. I thought those guys got after it. We're very physical up front. We're physical runners too, and so like you said, between Aaron and Roman, they had over 100 yards combined. And then Sawyer had a little over 80 by himself, and then Brandon Damian had right at 30, and then Carson Lopez, I think, had just around 10. So, we can comfortably hand the ball off to about five different people right now, quarterback included. So we really like that aspect of our run game. And one thing that we're trying to pride ourselves on too is running physically with the football. And so very, very rarely, I don't know if even one or two times if we were ever falling back on a run. So we're always trying to emphasize to our guys to fall forward and carry that pile with you and get a good push up front. And those guys did a pretty dang good job of it.
They did offensively, and I, as a fan, again, before the season started, I said we're going to have to run the ball to win some games. That's just what I felt. And it was nice to see that. And yeah, you're right. Flores and Davila, they're physical runners. And then you add Chalk to the list. So you really got three
Mhm.
backs that can consistently go. The defenses
Yep.
have to worry about, and then kind of mixing in the other guys. So we're giving them different looks on the run game. Really nice to see that. And then I'll just flip over to the defensive side. Shutout defense. LaFedia really couldn't get anything going. These guys they couldn't get anything on the pass. They seemed like they wanted to pass. Nothing
Mhm.
was there. And then when they did get a little bit of momentum and got across the 50, it looked like a few times they were going to score. We really tightened up there defensively. What did you see from the defense from start to end that they were able to get a shutout over the Lions?
Yep. So, you know, defense played really well. I think, again, controlled the line of scrimmage, did a really good job of that. On the pass plays, we did not get beat deep. We prevented the big play, big improvement from last year, and forced turnovers. And then I know another time late in the game, they're down inside the 10-yard line, and we come up with a fourth and goal stand and have them turn over. I think we're on the six. I think we're on the plus 6 yard line, and forced a turnover on downs, which was huge. Um, Thought they had a little bit of momentum at that point. I mean, we were still up three scores, but our guys, man, they just bowed their necks and got after it, and were a more physical team and didn't back down anybody across the field from them.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I mean, if you like I said, you can go to the game. While that defense just played great, and they kept that intensity up from beginning, and they never let down, even when get into that fourth quarter and you kind of think, okay, maybe we can let one slide. We've got a comfortable lead. It didn't happen. They continued to play physical until the game was over. And that was really, really great to see. Again, Mustang fans, the Mustang Ingleside takes the win 27-0 to go 1-0 in week one this early season. And coach, we do have offensive, defensive, and special team players of that game. And coach, I'd like to go to the offensive player first of all. And that's number 65, Logan McGrath. Just your thoughts. How did he get offensive player of the game?
Big show, big show. Well, for one, he had some feel good because he was honored as a part of the 2023, I believe. No, it's 24, state championship barbecue team. So Logan got a state championship ring during the pregame ceremony. So Logan's feeling pretty good. But Logan graded out really high for us. He's one of our team captains. He's taken a leadership role and done really well with it. And so on top of that, Logan's a real physical kid, loves to get after it, and is a smart football player. And so with him, it was our entire success offensively was predicated on the run, and he was one of those guys leading the way. So you had to go with the big show.
There you go. And by the way, coach, that barbecue thing, we're definitely talking. TJ's talking about that every Friday. He's
Oh
excited.
yeah.
Everybody should be, because that's a big thing. And so you're gonna be hearing a lot of that on the MPND Sports Network with TJ. Coach, then we jump on the defensive side, number 15, Isaac Freeman.
Yep.
Again, that we talked about that defense. He was part of that shutout defense. What did you see from him to earn the defensive player of the game?
How I mean, Isaac was all over the place. Isaac was an Ironman for us on Friday night. Played, I think, over 120 total snaps, offense, defense, special teams. But I mean, he was just everywhere as that outside linebacker for us, and taking up their own lanes, pressuring the quarterback, making tackles, scooping fumbles. Like just Isaac was everywhere and played more than he's probably ever played on a Friday night. But man, he was tough about it. All he needed was a quick breather here and there, and was right back out there. And he was just constantly asking him late in the third, late in the fourth, Isaac, you good? And he's like, oh no, I'm good. Like, let me roll. And so we were super proud of him for that. And he stepped up and played really well.
Yeah, that's great to see too, coach. And like I said, the defense, man, like I said, even when they could have possibly let one go in, because it looked like in the fourth quarter we weren't in any danger losing the game. These guys never, they wanted that shutout, I believe, man, because they just continued to play hard. So, Isaac Freeman, defensive player of the game. And then we can never leave out the special teams. I think special teams, even though we don't talk a lot about that, coach, they make some big plays. And we've got to be good in that area. A lot of times, that is why we win a game, right? Turnover here, turnover there. So, special teams player of the game versus La Feria was number 4, Jett Hoskins. Talk about him and how he got special teams player of the game.
Yeah, so Jett's one of our mainstays on our kickoff team too, which performed exceptionally well. Those guys flew down the field and really were able to corral their returners. Did not allow a return, I don't think, of over about 12 yards, maybe 15, something like that, but not very much. So our guys were flying down there, Jett being one of those guys and being sure tacklers. They didn't break many tackles down there. And then on top of that, I mean, defensively too, Jett was out there for a good amount of defensive reps and made a couple good plays at corner, made a good break on the ball, almost got a pick, and then made a couple open field tackles too. So, I mean, he did a good job.
Yeah, coach, I think we again played great all 3 phases of the game. Again, the Mustangs take the win 27-0, ready to go from start to end. And they will now go just down the road a little bit here and take on the Aransas Pass Panthers. And we'll get Coach Chrisman's thoughts here in just a bit, what the Mustangs need to do to get that win and go 2-0. You can watch this podcast here later on tonight, not Thursday, but later on tonight on all of our MPND social media platforms. That is our YouTube channel, which we'd love for you to become a subscriber. If you like the podcast, also on our Facebook and Twitter page, and you can share that. And it's also on Spotify. So follow us on Spotify. It's Premier Sports Talk. You can just look for the GT Sports logo, and you can hear this podcast and all of the podcasts that we have with Coach Chrisman this year. Coach, now I want to jump over to the other levels of football, and that's our junior varsity and our freshmen. And I'd like to go over to the junior varsity. They were taking on Flour Bluff. A close game, came up a little short on scoreboard, 16-6. What can you tell us about that game?
Yeah, I mean, had our chances. Kids went out there, played hard. Unfortunately, offensively, had a couple untimely turnovers where we had some good drives, but just didn't take care of the football well enough. Thought the defense played pretty decent. But again, just when you have, I think we had 3 turnovers offensively. And so when you're able to not win the turnover battle, you don't put yourself in a good spot to win.
Yeah, if you get 3 turnovers, it's going to be hard for you to get that W at the end of the game. So again, it was a close game. And if you're coaches, that's what you want to do. Give yourself an opportunity, but those turnovers definitely hurt us in week one. And it is week one, so they're still trying to work out a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the freshmen. They did get the win over Flour Bluff, 28-6. You've talked about this group being one of the bigger groups that we have. And I did see, Coach, specifically a video on Facebook where quarterback Landon connects with Julius Sierra for a 50-yard TD. It looked
Mhm.
beautiful past the route and stuff. Talk to us about that play, but just overall the performance by your freshman team.
Yeah, no, they thought they played really well. They were able to throw the ball around a little bit, especially when you have some speed like that Julius has, and then the slot receiver we have, Jaden Tetcher, also had a really big game, and then Landon, quarterbacking it all. And so with that group, they played pretty well too. Defensively, had a lot of big stops, and we're able to take care of the football. So we're really proud of those guys and the product that they were able to put out there for their first high school football game.
Absolutely, coach. And I would think as a Mustang fan, just talking about all three of them, it was a great week for us for our varsity. Junior varsity comes up a little short, but you talked about the turnovers, and I'm sure the coaches are gonna, fix that in week one. But close game, very competitive, gave ourselves a chance to win, and then the freshmen end up coming home with or getting the victory. So I think overall, coach, I think we did very, very well in week one. So definitely looking for week number two, and that starts tomorrow as our JV and freshmen will play at home there at Mustang Stadium. No,
JV is at home.
JV's at home.
The freshmen are going to be at GP
Okay.
because Aransas doesn't have a freshman team.
Okay. So the freshmen will go into Greg Report, and that should be a good one.
Yep.
Coach, what time do the freshmen start?
They're at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock,
JV's at 6.
and then JV will. So there will be a home game at
Yes.
Mustang at 6. So JV plays at home tomorrow at 6. A freshman just down the road here. You can take that drive down to GP, about 10-minute drive from Ingleside, as the freshmen look to go 2-0. Coach, let's talk a little bit about Friday's upcoming game. You guys really put it to Aransas Pass last year, won big, but this team just the 1 week one Thursday. I would think that they won huge. I think it was 50-0. I saw that's the Panthers. So they're coming into this game feeling pretty confident when you win.
Sure.
And there's always a good little rivalry. Aransas Pass always wants to beat Ingleside, no matter what the scores or what the records are. So what do the Mustangs need to do in on Friday's game to go 2-0 on the season?
I mean, first and foremost, just like our week one goal was, we got to establish the line of scrimmage, offensively and defensively. We can control the line of scrimmage. I think that we've got a good opportunity to control the game. Aransas Pass, I mean, they're from the little bit of film that we do have on them. I mean, they're pretty improved from last year. They've got the majority of their team back. I think they only have single-digit amount of seniors, so they were real young last year and bring a whole lot of pieces to the puzzle back. Got another offseason underneath them, and are, like I said, did a really good job against Riviera and beat them pretty good. So, as earned by them, they're going to have some confidence in what they were able to do against their week one opponent. But it's we've got to again concentrate on us. Got to take care of the football and be sure tacklers. If we can do that, then we should put ourselves in a good position.
Again, that game is just down the street in Aransas Pass. So we definitely would love to see all of the Mustang fans pack those stands in blue and cheer loud, be loud as cheer our Mustangs to a victory. We can go 2-0 on the season, which I think is very, very important. So all Mustang fans, please come on out Friday to Aransas Pass to cheer for the Mustangs. But if you can't, no worries. The MPND Sports Network will be there. TJ Riddell will be commentating, and you can support the Mustangs through our live stream. We should be there about 6:45 or so. We'll be going live 15 minutes before game time. So definitely support them through the live stream, but we'd love to have you there in person live. Coach, thank you very much once again for spending some time with us, and I'll give you the final thoughts. I thought overall had a great week. I guess I'd ask you, how's practice been going so far? It was kind of raining down in this area this morning.
Pretty good. Yeah, no, we got a little over 9 inches of rain today, so we got a ton. We've luckily doesn't stop us at all from practicing because we've got the turf outside or in, so that's really nice. But hopefully we've got a dry day tomorrow, and we'll probably make our guys go out on the grass since we're going to be playing on a grass field on Friday night. So we'll do our best to get outside and go make them feel what that's like again, since that's our only grass field game this year. So it's going to really be the only difference in our preparation.
It's nice to have that turf here in Ingleside, because when it rains, we can still do our thing indoors. So, and it's a
No doubt.
beautiful, beautiful facility that we have here. The whole high school is great for our athletes. So, Coach, again, thank you very much. And I'll give you the final thoughts. Anything you want to add?
I'm good. Just looking forward to seeing our guys out there performing week 2.
All right. Good luck, Coach. On Friday, we'll be out there. And hopefully, when it's all said and done, we'll be 2-0. As in, we'll be going on the road again. We'll talk about that next week. Coach, thank you very much. And good luck on Friday.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Gabe.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man.